Hey guys, it's Jeff with TGC Customs. I want to do a quick video today. We're out of the review space over here by one of the Elegoo printers, but just wanted to set this up real quick. This is probably the number one question I get asked when it comes to doing a personalized custom action figure. What I mean by personalized is it's something off the beating path. Something that I just can't go grab a file for Spider-Man, or I don't have a existing Spider-Man figure that I can scan and make a mold of, or scan and then digitally change whatever I need to. It's going to be for the unique stuff. Like I get this all the time. Can you make the action figure look like me? Or can you make it look like somebody famous that maybe might not be as quite mainstream? Like if somebody said, can you make me a Harrison Ford? Absolutely. There's Harrison Ford statues, there's Harrison Ford figures, there's anything I can scan an image from and make a Harrison Ford head. He's a very popular character. Indiana Jones, Han Solo, not a problem. It's the ones I get that the person wants their likeness and they want it to really match. And I tell people there's two ways that we can do this. One is I can search the thousands of files that I have, or maybe a file I can purchase from a digital sculptor, or maybe I can digitally sculpt it myself. My skills are not that great, you're going to see here in a minute, but we can go that route. That is the cheaper route. Or you can solicit a photo to STL conversion. There's several companies that do that. The one that most of my customers seem to go to is 3dspot.com. That seems to be a very popular one. Not sponsored by them. They don't give me any deals. I never personally have used them. I just haven't had the need for it. But what I will say is their work is extremely good. The files that have gotten from 3D Spot, they need no touch up, nothing. The only issue I've had with them is a lady wanted her husband was a amateur wrestler. She wanted the 100% likeness, and she opted for a full body scan. And I was like, I only need the head. If you want an articulated action figure, we're going to use the body from somebody else and do the custom painting, painted his tattoos, and did the likeness that way. Even made him a soft goods shirt and a sombrero that he wore to the ring. He was a luchador, and that was part of his gimmick. So 3D Spot, several other companies that will do photo to STL conversion. If you want 100% likeness, you want the figure to look exactly like you, that is the route we can go. You will purchase the file from them, email it to me. I can then print it in any scale, and we can make it work with just about any type of action figure body you want to use. I have not had anyone do that in the 3.75 scale or like vintage G.I. Joe, Star Wars yet. But I have had plenty of 1/12 scale and even some 1/6 scale, which I don't do that much of. But anyway, that would be the way to go if you want 100% likeness. You want a custom action figure from TGC Customs, you want it to look just like you, that's the way to go. Photo to STL conversion using an outside source. I don't have you here in my shop, so therefore I couldn't scan you even with the new scanner that I have. There's no real way for me to do that. So that's the best way. Yes, it will cost you extra because you have to pay the third party for the file conversion. I don't know what the costs were running. Last time a customer mentioned it, I think for the head sculpt it was around $65, but that was then. I'm filming this in early August 24, so by the time you watch this, this may have changed. I will show you a few examples of customers that had. This was a young man, if I can get it to focus. The parents wanted him as a superhero, and they wanted the glasses to be fixed, to not be removable. 3D Spot took a photo, or a couple of photos of this young man, produced this, and I was able to print it. I always print a few of these when I'm doing a custom in case I mess one up, or a lot of times I may include a couple of these in the pack for this young man. I thought it was really neat. They wanted him as Superman, I believe. So I did the whole Superman get up on a 1/12 scale body, him muscular and all. But then the couple extras besides this one that I had printed. One I'd printed in 1/6 scale just as a test. I sent all of them to him too. I mean, I don't know what he's gonna do with him. I don't know what you would do with a shrunken head of yourself, but hey, I got no use for it. I threw it in there for him. I just kept a few of these for, I knew I wanted to do this video and add it to our frequently asked questions, because like I said, that is one of the top questions we get. This was another gentleman. I believe he was an amateur wrestler too. Get a lot of those. And the wife wanted 100% likeness. This guy really looked like Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead, or I think his name's Andrew Lincoln. Really looked like that actor. So I was like, we got a lot to choose from. I think I can, digitally adjust a couple of these images that I've got, and we can work. But she opted. She wanted to ensure it looked just like her husband, and or fiance, whatever. And that's what she wanted. So that's what she wanted to do. So hey, I'm fine with it. So that's another one that 3D Spot provided. This one was done, I believe, by 3D Spot as well. This was very similar. Girlfriend, wife wanted husband done as Batman, and so we did one. You can see I haven't cleaned any of these up. They've still got supports and stuff on them. But anyway, we actually did the one like this, unmasked, and then we did a masked version where it was just easier to hand sculpt the cowl on top of him, and did that one. This one was done by a company other than 3D Spot, of a female. He wanted his wife as a Jedi. She had a very unique, like, dreadlock hairstyle. She also had a very unique costume. It was very detailed. And absolutely he wanted to incorporate, he was adamant about the tattoos. Tattoos at 1/12 scale can be difficult. Of course, they're going to lose some of the detail that they have in it, but this young lady had a lot of very intricate tattoos, but we got it close enough. He was happy with the final product. But this was the STL he provided. I do not remember the name of the company. I just remember that it was not 3D Spot, and that he wanted the hair. I told him the hair now, when we cut this out to fit a ball joint, this is going to hinder your articulation because this thing's solid. And I could have maybe sliced it, printed this in a flexible resin, but I explained to him the head movement would be limited, and he was fine with that. He really just wanted, like I said, the 100% likeness. But this one turned out pretty good too. This is my feeble attempt at sculpting. This gentleman had a homemade comic book character, or original comic book character he had come up with, young man. So basically what I did was take an existing Spider-Man file, smoothed it over, tried to design the mask design in Blender, and ended up printing it, and he ended up loving it, and it turned out pretty good. Like I said, I am by no means a digital sculptor. I've always worked with actual media, draw, paint. Even my sculpting with clay and stuff like that, that's still kind of limited to me. I'm still learning stuff about that every day. But this was my attempt at digital sculpting. I can attempt this route if it's something that falls into this little area that, like I said, I had existing just smooth. I can't remember. I think it may not have even been Spider-Man. It may just have been a smooth head shape that I was able to download to start with, and went that route. So that's me sculpting, and you acquiring an STL file. Got a couple more like that. This gentleman here is getting a boxer, and I believe this guy was a boxer in the 70s. Don't remember his name right off, but he wanted the younger version and him later in life. So we had two versions of the same gentleman done by, this was done by 3D Spot. So they're a little different, as you can see, and I don't know if it's just the boxer aging over time. Being a boxer, obviously your facial features probably change a little bit. But these I hadn't even popped off the supports, so you can kind of see how they print. But these were done by 3D Spot as well. Didn't mean to jump around, but I was about to forget these two. Also, this guy here. Now this is an example of taking an existing file. This particular character, the reason is the sculpt is a little bigger. He was going for the old 70s Mego style body, and he just wanted to order the custom head from me, which we can do. Someone had already designed this character. I believe it's from a 1970s kind of obscure horror movie. It's actually a gentleman wearing a mask under this. If you look close at the eyes, you can see the actual person, the eye cutouts that's in the mask. But a very detailed sculpt done by an artist online. The customer found the artist, wanted to know if he could purchase the file. The artist sold him the digital file. I was able to print the head, and just give him a paint job. He just wanted them a couple painted. I think I did 2 of them for him, and then I actually sent him one other unpainted as well. Pretty sure. This kind of falls into this category. I had a lady who wanted a figure of the statue of David. So what I did was I got online. I actually found an artist who had either scanned the actual statue or had recreated it down to a T. I mean, this thing looked really good. And I explained to him, I was like, I don't want to use your digital artwork without asking, but I have no desire to print this thing as a statue as you intended. I just need the head sculpt off of it for an action figure. And he thought that was like the coolest thing. He actually wanted to see a photo of what I came up with at the end. And this one, I did a bigger one. Once again, I was just playing around with scaling and stuff and trying some new resin. That's why I have 2 of these. But this was the one we ended up going with for the 1/12 scale. And this is another route that we can go. There is millions of digital files out there, millions of artists. A lot of times, if it's somebody that wants something unique like this, or if you wanted Wolverine, but you want a particular time period of Wolverine or by a particular artist, usually I can contact if there's a statue been made or a bust of that particular character. Most of the time when I explain to the artist what I want to do with it, they're fine with me purchasing it from them, or some of them will just let you download it. And I tell them, that I'm not recreating your statue. I'm not trying to sell the art that you've made. I give you full credit for the design. I want to make an action figure out of it for a customer. And most of them actually get a kick out of it, especially if it's comic related or something like this, where it's something I don't get asked to do Statue of David every day. So, that was kind of unique, and that's another route we can go. This one here is probably the second most popular version. I don't have a lot of these, but this was for a gentleman who was a amateur wrestler as well. He didn't want to spend the extra money on having 3D Spot do the 100% likeness. But in his words, he's like, I'm just an ordinary looking guy. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? He sent me some pictures, some headshots of himself. He's probably mid-20s, black, African-American male. And he normal looking guy, clean shaven, no goatee, no anything. And I said, well, let me get online and look at some files. So I actually contacted an artist who does digital files or renders for video games. And they can be easily converted to a STL file. Found this, a character that he was working on, and this was kind of like his base for African-American male in that age range. And it started off, and it had the structure was somewhat like the young man's face. I sent him a digital render of what it would look like, and I said, now naturally I'll put your eyebrows in, I'll put your hairline in, hand sculpt it. He had a very low haircut, but a distinctive hairline, and he had a couple of unique cuts into his hair, like lines shaved back into his haircut that were unique, that made him stand out, and it was part of his gimmick in wrestling, and he loved it. Ended up going with this. His outfit was very detailed. His I don't know exactly what his gimmick was, but it was more based on the outfit. He had a very flamboyant kind of, made me think of Macho Man, Randy Macho Man Savage, like back in his Snapping to the Slim Jim days, with crazy colors and all that. Very unique character. Made an awesome looking action figure when we were done. But anyway, just kind of wanted to show these things off, answer a few questions. If you're looking at ordering a custom action figure from us, that's kind of some of the choices I can do. I don't mind looking through the files to see if I can find a likeness that's close enough to you. I also don't mind using a third party's print, like like I said, 3D Spot has been the main one that I have that people that are my customers have used. Everything I've used from them so far has been really good. Hadn't had any issues with any of it. Turned out great. Even this one, like I said, I do not remember the name of the company, but turned out great. Made a great head sculpt. Looked just like the young lady. They were super stoked with their figure. So that's kind of the options we have if you're looking for that unique gift. I want a figure to look like my dad. I want a figure to look like me, my mom, etc. That's kind of the routes that we can go. I can't promise I can get as good of results using this route where I just happen to find a file, researched a file, and it kind of looked like the young man. But I will do what I can, and we'll see what we can do to save you some money where we can. But anyway, like I said, that is one of our most popular questions. So I'm going to tag this video link into that section on our store in Etsy, and you can kind of maybe get a little bit of idea. I know I rambled a little bit, but that's just me. Kind of get a little bit of idea of what you'll be looking at once we go into it. Usually if you go the third party route and pay for the a photo to STL conversion, I don't get any money from that. I don't charge any extra for doing that, because like I say, the files are easy to work with. The price of the figure I give you is going to be the work that I do. And I'd much rather you deal with the third party company to get the scan or the file, because they can get it to you, to your likeness, to what you're looking for. And me trying to do that for you just puts another kink in the hose there. I'd rather you handle that and get me the file and be it however, and we can take it from there. Anyway, if you got any further questions, don't hesitate to contact us through the Etsy store, or we're on Instagram, TGC _ customs on Instagram. We got a Facebook page up finally after years and years, because we want to add a Instagram store for some of the more popular things we do. Hadn't got to that yet, but should be coming soon. Depending on how busy we get for the holidays, it may be after first of the year, but that's coming too. So just check us out.